video, I'm going to show you the exact roadmap of how you can earn your first lakh as a content creator. Now, this video is useful for two groups of people. Number one, you are a content creator who's just starting out and who has no following. And the second group is of content creators who have been doing it for a while. You have some significant following, but you are unable to monetize it. This is the exact roadmap that all the top creators around the world have been doing it since ages. This is not a get rich quick kind of video. It's more to do with establishing a proper business plan as a content creator so that you can sustain your content creation journey for as much as possible. Before I continue, if you want this document directly to be shared with you as a Notion site, then click the first link in the description and you'll get it. Alright, so let's look at the problems quickly. Number one, you're posting without any positioning. This is what happens when you do not have a set objective in mind when you're creating content and you try to cater to different audience at different times, which sort of messes with your brand positioning. The second problem that we often see is you do not have a clear offer or a path to monetization. This is when a content creator does not have a set path which leads his or her audience to a specific value, meaning there's no business aspect of it. And third problem is when your audience does not know what transformation you're creating, meaning there's no clarity in your value proposition. You're not giving them a proper reason of why they should stick to you in a longer run. You might ask me, how exactly do I know if the proposed roadmap works? I've done multiple case studies of creators in India, and Raj Shamani is one of them. Raj Shamani is one of the creators who has been popping off lately and is in all the social media platforms. So if you look at sort of his progression, then he started as a speaker with absolutely no audience. It's very evident because he keeps posting about these things. He built a content brand around entrepreneurship and storytelling. He also has multiple courses, brand deals, and obviously YouTube AdSense through which he has monetized his content. And now he has his own software as a service platform. An educated guess would reveal that he earns easily upwards of 1.5 to 2 crore rupees per month. That's roughly $200,000. This is a lowball estimate. And he also does a lot of speaking gigs, content-led brand sponsorships, and knowledge products like Build Your Influence Cohort. And not just Raj Shamani, almost all the top creators in India and abroad have been following the same roadmap. So what does this show us? It says that if you're creating content and if you have expertise in a certain niche, then you can create compounding income. Primarily requires three things: a strategic plan, consistency when you're creating content, and optimization. You could have 100 followers, you could have 500 followers, or you could have 10,000 followers, doesn't matter. These are the four proven ways that you can monetize yourself as a content creator. Alright, the first one is obviously ad revenue. Ad revenue is basically when a company pays a platform because they're putting ads on your content and you get a share of it. As simple as that. This is primarily applicable to platforms like YouTube as well as X. So to make money out of ad revenue share, you need high views, meaning high share of the revenue that's given to you. Now, there's something called a CPM, which is cost per mile. It's the amount of money that's given to per 1,000 views, depending upon the niche that you're present in. For example, business, finance, and skills are profitable niches because their CPMs are quite high, while niches like comedy and entertainment probably has lower CPMs. The second way is through sponsorships and brand deals. Now, if you ask any content creator how exactly do you plan to monetize yourself, 9 out of 10 people will just say that they're waiting for a brand deal to happen. Now, I've personally seen people with 3,000 followers, 5,000, 10,000 followers earning money through brand deals. But the problem is they create something called as user generated content, UGC, where they have to promote a product. Two issues with this. One, you do not have flexibility to choose any brand that you can work with. It sort of works in an inbound way where the brands reach out to you. The other thing is the frequency of the payout. You only get paid when a certain brand is ready to sponsor you. It's not a recurring revenue, but it's definitely a high ticket, meaning the amount of money that's paid at once is usually higher. The third proven way is through coaching or freelancing. If you have positioned yourself as a career expert or a fitness enthusiast or a trainer, then you can actually progress into coaching. Freelancing is when you market yourself as a service provider on multiple platforms such as Fiverr, Upwork, platforms where there are people actively looking for services like that. Now, the problem with this is it's not scalable. It's definitely high ticket, high margin, mainly because you're putting in the hours yourself. But as an individual, if you're investing hours again and again for multiple people, then you sort of spread too thin. You should consider this based on the niche and if you get a really good offer. And the fourth and the final one, and my personal favorite, is knowledge productization. This is where you create a product out of your knowledge and expertise. You could create ebooks, Notion templates, have paid workshops, or pre-recorded digital courses and market it to your audience. This is definitely high margin because we're talking about digital products and not physical products. So you don't need inventory, you don't need upfront cost except maybe a few platform cost and onboarding costs, but it's the most scalable out of all the options, and it does solve real problems. And more importantly, it doesn't depend on the number of followers that you have. I've seen people who get less than 4,000, 5,000 views on YouTube have $1 million businesses. It's because of their positioning. So these ways lead to a simple conclusion. Your paid product should be the next logical step from your free content. Alright, let me give you a better example. This is called as a stepping stone principle. So if you're a 90s kid, you know this show called Takeshi's Castle. There was this one obstacle course where people had to run across multiple stepping stones to get to the other side. Now the catch is a few of them are just styrofoam plates, so they just sink in. A few of them are supported. Now let's say if you're the first person to attempt that. You jump on one or two stones, and on the third one you fall down, you fall in the water. Then you swim back. Now you know that, okay, that's something that you should not do. You probably go 4-5 steps ahead and then again go into the water. Since you are the first person, you have something called as a first mover's advantage. Meaning, of course, you'll fail quite a lot and then you'll make it to the other side. Now you have the knowledge of what works and what doesn't. Let's say another person is attempting the course. Now, if he has to save time and effort, obviously he'll ask you for help. Instead of him attempting the course with the possibility of him failing multiple times, he will just ask you to help him out in exchange for X rupees or X dollars. This is where you're selling your knowledge as a value and getting money in return. This is exactly what you have to do when you're creating content. No matter what niche or what industry you're catering to, if you can help the other person who's watching you to get to where you're at, or at least show them the path, then that value can be productized. Now that we know why we should do that, let's look at what you can sell. If you're talking about productivity tips, if that's your topic of interest, then you can sell something like Focus System or a Notion site which helps them to create productive routines. This is what popular YouTubers like Ali Abdal and Tarun Speaks sell. If it's around career advice, then you can sell kits or guides revolving around resume and job search. If you're a fitness enthusiast or a trainer, then you can sell something around a workout tracker, meal planning, PDF or a guide, or a Notion calorie tracker. If you're teaching people about freelancing, then you can sell them scripts of how to outreach to clients, how to send cold emails, pricing calculators, etc. So to summarize the entire roadmap to your first 1 lakh as a creator, pick a niche that you have some idea into. Obviously, you cannot fake it because people will see through that. And then second thing is you have to create free content that solves small problems. You have to address the pain points of your ideal target customer. Next, you work on a solution. Since your ICP can have multiple pain points, you have to pick one, build a solution to it, and productize it in the form of a PDF, a Notion site as I previously mentioned, or a video. Next, you pick a platform where you can host your digital product or a solution and then integrate it with your socials. And then finally, you promote it with your content, your personal stories, and the outcomes. A good way to build credibility amongst your audience is to show digital proof of people who have used your products and achieved something. Then finally, repeat, improve, stack, and then scale. Just repeat the same process, pick another pain point, build another product, build content around it, and keep on going. It's a flywheel. If it kicks off, then great. If it doesn't, then refine, reiterate, and work on it more. If you do this, then you can earn your first lakh as a content creator as soon as possible. If you want this entire document for your reference, then click the first link in the description and you'll get it. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this, then do subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.